Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be talking about your deposit versus your down payment. Sometimes people get these two terms confused. Is your deposit your down payment? Is your down payment your deposit? What is it? So I'm going to clear that up in this video. So essentially, your deposit and down payment goes towards the same goal, which is to put towards the purchase price of a property. However, when they are required and why they are required are a little bit different. In particular, your deposit, there is certain important information about that, and I'll discuss that at the end of the video. But to start it off, your deposit forms a part of your down payment. So let's talk about our down payment first. So let's say you're purchasing a property of $500,000. The minimum down payment of that is 5%. That works out to be $25,000. The full amount of that is not required until closing date, and that's the date that you take possession of the property. However, when you make an offer on a property and that offer is accepted, you are required to pay a deposit, and that deposit is required 24 hours after acceptance of that offer. Now, the amount that you pay for your deposit will eventually go towards the down payment on closing date, but it's required 24 hours after the offer is accepted. Why is it required then? Now, if you think about it, a contract has certain components in order to make it valid, and that is an offer, an acceptance, a completed agreement. You have to be of age, and there needs to be a consideration. Now, your deposit is the consideration in this context. So if you think about it, once an offer is accepted on the property, the seller takes their property off the market for you, the buyer, to get that property on closing date. So for a seller to consider you as serious, you have to sort of put something on the table, which in that case is the deposit, which is consideration for them taking their property off the market. Now, the amount for your deposit isn't a fixed percentage. However, it's sort of relative to the price of the home, and also depending on where you are in the city, there are certain customary amounts that you should put down for a deposit. Now, whereas it's like outside of Toronto, a lower amount in terms of the deposit is okay, but it's not uncommon for in Toronto for them to require 5% or just a higher amount than if you're outside of the city. Ensure your agent lets you know that, because that is very important, especially when it comes down to multiple offer situations. If you have a higher deposit, it could maybe increase your chances over another purchaser. For that same 500,000 property that we talked about at the beginning, let's say you put down $10,000 as your deposit. That is held in trust at the real estate brokerage's office or the seller's lawyer's account. That is held there until closing day. So you put down that $10,000 as your deposit. On closing day, the balance of the $25,000 that I said would be required for the down payment, that would be $15,000. So that balance is due until then. So that's what I mean by your down payment is not due in full until closing date. So that's the difference in terms of the when and why for your deposit versus your down payment. Now, I did mention there are some important points for your deposit. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but sometimes we put offer, we have them conditional on maybe financing and inspection, and these are very crucial. So for example, if you're not 1000% sure that your finances will be approved, you need to make it conditional on getting your mortgage financing approved. And the same goes for an inspection. If you have any doubts about the condition of the property, then you need to have the inspection done. Because if you waive all of those conditions, or you go into an offer firm, which means you didn't have any conditions on your offer in the beginning, if you default, which means you cannot close your property for any reason, the seller can take the full amount of that deposit, or sometimes they'll take half of it, or sometimes it's even worse. If you can't close, they will take your deposit and also take you to court. It's not a joke. You can lose your money, so make sure that all your conditions are satisfied before you firm up on your offer. So those are the differences between your deposit versus your down payment. I hope this was helpful. If you're still confused or if you have any further questions regarding that, you can give me a call at 647-828-0448, or you can email me at nadiacawley@gmail.com. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.